Assalamu alaikum students. Today I'm here to revise with you end of term one final exam 2024-25. I know you guys are desperately waiting for the video, so I am ready now to prepare this video for you. Guys, in this video, at first I will go through with the study list and tell you what are the topics contained in the study list. Then after that, one by one, all the topics as per the sequence given in the review pack, I will go through with them. Okay, so chapter number 18, guys, what are the topics coming in your final exam? Um, Simultaneous equation, so linear, and the second one is quadratic. So this is the concept, not linear equations. In your course, we have linear and quadratic simultaneous equation. Linear is like it is y is equal to 3x plus 2. Quadratic is y is equals to x squared plus 5x plus 3. So we have here quadratic, and this one is linear because the maximum power of x is 1. I will teach you, and we will go through with that technique which we have learned how to solve the linear and quadratic equation. And you remember we were getting mostly two answers, two values of x, and corresponding to these two values of x, I was finding the two values of y. So this is the basic technique which will be useful for you to solve one linear and the second quadratic equation. Now the question arises, Mr. Omar, is the calculator allowed? Yes, calculator is allowed, but can I solve linear and quadratic equation through the calculator? The answer is no. You cannot do it. Once you mix the two equations, linear and quadratic, at that time you guys can use calculator, like how to solve the quadratic equation to get the two possible roots. But again, I want to tell you, you need to prepare yourself for non-calculator exams. You are using factorization technique or you are using quadratic formula. You have to show your steps. Otherwise, if you write the answers directly, examiner will definitely deduct the marks of the methods from this question. Next question is other nonlinear graphs. Yes, it is related to some graphs we have, cubical graphs, and sketching basically is the most important thing for me to test you, because in term one, we did discuss graphing of nonlinear function, but this time I'm going to focus at the sketching technique. Then after that, another important aspect of curved graphs, that how to find the estimated gradient of the curve by drawing a tangent line at that point, and whatever the gradient of that tangent is, same as the gradient of the curve at that point. So don't forget, one question is very important for the final exam, which is on this concept, like find the gradient of the curve. And we will able to get the estimated gradient, not the exact gradient. Last topic is calculus topic, differential calculus. We will do the differentiation. And in this concept, we will do simple differentiation of functions, but we will connect it with stationary points, how to find the turning points of the curve, and how to analyze that which stationary point or a turning point is maximum point, or which turning point is a minimum point. So we will also see in the context of this unit 18.7 derivatives of functions. Then guys, we have transformations and vectors. Vectors is coming fully, the magnitude of a vector, position vector, and the geometry of vectors. These concepts will be tested in the exam. However, in transformations, this is half, transformation coming to your exam, in which we are going to test your skills in translation and reflection. So you need to be good at how to translate the figures. If the column vector is given, if the original and the final figure is given, how to find the translation vector, reflection in the x-axis and the y-axis, and when the line of reflection is given, how you can reflect the original image to get the final image. So these concepts in general comprised on these 28 pages I have used to develop this review pack. I hope, like guys, if you go through with this review pack, it will give you a very, very good understanding what is expected from you to know for the final exam. But can I say this is the like a maximum? No. This review pack is not developed with the purpose that students should study only the review pack. No, this is the start. You can test your skills, your knowledge by solving the review pack independently and watching this video. But I have given you references here, so you may use these references and consult the book. You can find more practice questions. Calculator, guys, I always recommend FX 991 EX, very helpful for you for the final exam. And maybe I will use in some situations to show you that how the calculator can be helpful in some of the situations. So total marks will be 90 for your exam, and the total time is 90, and total marks are 40, and we will scale them out of 30 in the report card. And spaces will be provided under each question. As you know, in Cambridge, it happens like that. Scientific calculator is also allowed. And if you want to draw tangent or any diagram you want to draw, guys, preferably you should use pencil. But in the whole exam, where you will show your working through the blue pen, not black pen, not green pen, not any other color pen, just the black pen will be used to do the final exam. You need to give a very good practice to yourself as like you are sitting in the real Cambridge exam. Got it? So, guys, uh, tracing paper. Many students they might ask, Mister, where is the tracing paper? No, for reflection and translation, there is no need. I didn't teach you use tracing paper. Tracing paper is basically used for rotation, but rotation is not coming. So you should not expect that. We will provide you the tracing paper because it won't help you in this regard. Now, first, topic is under chapter number 18 is simultaneous linear and non-linear equations. So guys, the first equation, x is equal to 7 minus 3y, this is a linear equation. And the second equation is a quadratic equation because the maximum power of the variable is 2, whether it is x or y. So it's a quadratic equation. So what did you learn? Your first focus goes on the linear equation. So when I look at my linear equation, it is x is equals to 7 minus 3y. So x has been made by the examiner already as a subject. So can I plug this value of x into the second equation, which is quadratic equation? So I'm ready to substitute the value of x in the quadratic equation. So in the place of x, you leave the brackets and copy the rest of the equation. I copied it. Now in the place of x, I'm going to write 7 minus 3y. Now algebra skills comes in front of you. We have a bracket having a square. Can I copy this bracket 2 times? Whereas y square and 39 will be coming as it is. And then 7 times 7 gives you 49. 7 times negative 3y is giving you negative 21y. Negative 3y times 7 is negative 21y. And negative 3y times negative 3y is plus 9y square. And minus y square is equal to 39 will be copied as it is. We keep copying them, but you saw that x minus 3y whole squared, this bracket was written 2 times. Then I multiply them. Why not? I can simplify. So 49 minus 42y plus 9y squared minus y squared is equals to 31. Now, can I convert it into quadratic equation? The answer is yes. 9y squared minus y squared will make it as 8y squared. Then I write negative 42y. Then I have plus 49, and this plus 39 will go to the left-hand side. It becomes minus 39 equal to 0. So finally, 8y squared minus 42y plus 49 minus 39 is going to give you plus 12 is equals to 0. Now, boys, I got a quadratic equation. This is a pure quadratic equation. Now, you may apply quadratic formula in the exam, or you can go for factorization. Or third thing is you may go with the calculator. One technique which I want to highlight it here, because every term has a number which can be divided by 2. So why not the entire equation should be divided by 2? Because it helps you to downsize the coefficient. So 8 becomes 4, 42 becomes 21y, and 10 becomes 5 is equal to 0. For example, if you don't want to do that, I have no problem. You can skip it. Clear? Now I have 4y squared minus 21y plus 5 is equal to 0. This is a quadratic equation. At first, I want to teach you or revise with you how we did factorization of these type of expressions, equations in the class. So check that. I have a number 4 and I need to multiply this 4 with 5. The moment you multiply 4 with 5, you just ignore it and just write here y squared. Yani, when you multiply 4 with 5, it leaves behind 1 in the place of 4. Negative 21y will be copied as it is. And 5 multiplied with 4, it gives you 20. Bravo. After writing this, you need to focus at the last number 20. Now, what are the possible factorizations of 20? Let us do that. 1 times 20 is 20. 2 times 10 is 20. And 4 times 5 is 20. So these are the 3 possible ways in which two numbers, whole numbers, can multiply to give you 20. Now, can you please look at the pair of numbers which you have? 3 pairs you have. I have a pair of 20 and 1. I have a pair of 10 and 2. I have a pair of 5 and 4. Which pair, if you add, subtract, and you get the answer negative 21? Your answer will definitely come to me, Mr. Omar. Why not? You can write negative 20 and negative 1, because negative 20 and negative 1 will give you equals to negative 21. Wow. So the two numbers minus 20 and minus 1 should be written in the factor form. So my first factor is x minus 20 and second factor is x minus 1. I hope it is cleared, but my job is not done yet. You multiplied with 4, the 5, the constant. So don't forget, once you write your factors, so the 20 should be divided with the same number with which you multiplied the 5, and 1 should be divided by 4. Now 4 cancel with 20, it gives you 5. So x negative 5. I cannot write a fraction here, so 4 goes here, 4x negative 1. And this is the factorization of this number. I know it's complex, it's difficult, but don't worry. If you know how to do the factorization, that's a plus point on you, but the calculator is allowed, and you know the quadratic formula. So I am actually, for the time being, I'm gonna erase this technique and try to apply the quadratic formula. So student needs to know all techniques to do the questions in the exam. Now, if I'm writing a is equals to 4, b is equal to negative 21, and c is equals to 5. Quadratic formula is y is equals to negative b plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac whole over 2a. Now I'm going to plug in here minus minus 21 plus minus b squared, which is negative 21 whole squared minus 4a is 4 and c is 5 whole divided by 2 and 4. So y is equals to 21 plus minus, you just open your calculators and write the full expression. You write here negative, bracket open, negative 21, close the bracket, use plus first time, and then write a square root, bracket open, negative 2, bracket close, squared, negative, okay, negative 4, bracket open, 4, bracket close, bracket open, 5, bracket close, bring the cursor down, 2 times 4. So let's check what the answer comes. 5. Wow, wonderful. So you just need to show the correct formula and substitution. After that, you can write the answer directly that, Mr. Omar, I'm going to get y is equals to 5. But now if you replace the plus sign with the minus sign, you get 1 over 4. So y is equals to 1. Now y is equals to 5 and 1 over 4. Half job is done. Now I want to find the corresponding x values. So these values of y will be substituted one by one into the linear equation, because linear equation is much easier. So I'm gonna substitute it into the linear equation. So x is equals to 7 minus 5. It will give me 2. So 2 is corresponding to 5. But if I substitute in the place of let me check it again. Did I do any mistake? Let me check that. 7, x is equals to 7 minus 3, y is 5. So x is equal to 7 minus 15. So y comes to you equals to how much it is? Negative 8. So the corresponding x is negative 8. But if your y is 1 over 4, then we solve it. It gives us 0.25. So I'm going to write here 0.25. Clear, boys? So this is the quadratic formula. Now, third technique, which I want to teach you now, the third technique is you just open the calculator in the exam, go to the menu and find equation. I wish you are using the same calculator model, which I am using right now. And to quadratic equation, enter the coefficient of y squared, which is 4, enter, negative 21, enter, 5, enter. So it gives me the first answer, 5. Can you check that? and again enter, it gives you 1/4. So these are the two values of y, and corresponding to these two values, you can plug it into the first equation to get the corresponding x values. So Alhamdulillah, this question is done. Now in the same way, guys, I will not go into details of every question since the model solution will be provided to you. I will just highlight the important aspects. Now this is for sure a quadratic equation, and the first one is a linear equation. So as per the rule, in linear equation, we need to make one variable as a subject. So for sure, x coefficient is 1. It is more likely to make x as a subject. So if you want to make x as a subject, you need to kick this 2y to go or shift this 2y to the right hand side. So when it goes to the right hand side, plus 2y changes to negative 2y. Wonderful. Now, can I plug this value of x, which is 12 minus 2y, in the quadratic equation? So 5, don't forget you need to write the brackets there. So copy here 12 minus 2y plus y squared is equals to 39. Now expand the bracket, 60 minus 10y plus y squared is equals to 39. Now rearrange the quadratic equation. So guys, you will be getting plus 21 is equal to 0. Now let me use my calculator to get the answer directly. Enter 1, enter negative 10, enter 21, and I got my first answer of y, 7. And second answer is, the second stroke gives us 3. So y, 7 and 3, I found it. Can I plug this value one by one into the linear equation? So x is equals to 12 minus 2. In the place of y, I put 7. So 12 minus 14 gives you negative 2. And x is equals to 12 minus 2. In the place of x, I write 3. So 12 minus 6, it gives you 6. So final answer is coming to me 6. So Alhamdulillah, guys, the idea has been given to you. If any student he wants to again practice the method which I have taught you for factorization, let me give you a review. So the last number is 21. This is 1. Wonderful. So what are the possible, the pairs of 21 I can find? 1 times 21 is 21, and 3 times 7 is 21. Got it? Now, which two numbers, when you add, subtract them to give you negative 10? So negative 7, negative 3 basically will give you negative 10. So this will give you the first factor, y minus 7, and the second factor is y minus 3 is equal to 0. Once you put these factors equal to 0, guys, so that will give you the value of y, 3, 7, and 3. And you saw that we found these values already. If you look at the third question, in the third question, linear equation has a mix of x and y. So try to make that variable as a subject which has a coefficient 1. So in this scenario, y has a coefficient 1. So I will try to make y as a subject. So y becomes 7 minus 2x. Now this value in the place of y, I'm going to write it here. So when I write the value of y as 7 minus 2x, and this one I will copy as it is, 5x squared plus 2x minus 13. Can I throw this to the right? So on the left, you will be left with 0. So 5x squared plus 2x negative 13. The plus 7 changes to negative 7. Negative 2x changes to plus 2x. Now the time has come to rebuild or reorganize my quadratic equation. So 2x plus 2x gives you 4x, and Negative 13, negative 7 will give you negative 20. Bravo. Now, after getting this, boys, we need to either use calculator. Since the examiner has mentioned here two decimal places, so I am fully sure that quadratic formula is the only tool. Otherwise, factorization, if you want to do with that, factorization won't be helpful for you. So either use calculator or quadratic formula. But in the final exam, you have to show your steps. You will show quadratic formula. How? You'll say x is equals to negative 4 plus minus 4 squared negative 4, 5, and negative 20 over 2a. A is 5. So two values of x I'm going to get minus 2.44, since the examiner said you have to write the values of x and y to the two decimal places. And the second value of x will come to me 1.64. Now, for these two values of x, I will try to find the corresponding values of y. And what is y equals to? 7 minus 2. I will substitute minus 2.44 and get the answer 11.88. And if I substitute in the place of x 1.64, the corresponding value of y will come to me 3.72. So here is my solution: minus 2.44, 11.88. And if x is 1.64, your y is 3.72. Now, question number 4, you can see your y is having um, a unit coefficient. So try to make this one as a subject by sending the 2x to the right. So it will turn into this form: y equals 7 minus 2x, because it was plus 2x. On the right, it would be negative 2x. Now this value of y will be substituted here. So I'm going to copy x squared minus, the square will stay as it is, but please keep the things within inside the bracket. So in the place of y, I have written here brackets, and in the brackets I'm going to write 7 minus 2x, and that is equals to 8. And how do we do that? You remember 7 minus 2x, this bracket I'm going to copy 2 times in multiplication form. Okay, now the bigger mistake which normally students they do, they will forget about this negative sign. This negative sign has a very, very important role here. Why? Because it has the tendency to change all the signs inside the bracket. So boys, when you multiply 7 minus 2x with 7 minus 2x, do this multiplication within a bracket. If you don't write the bracket, then you will be mistaken. So now let's do that. 7 times 7 is 49. 7 times negative 2x is negative 14x. This is negative 14x. And negative 2x times negative 2x is plus 4x squared. And then x squared negative 49. What is the answer of minus 14 and minus 14? That is minus 28x plus 4x squared is equals to 8. And then remember, outside there is a minus sign. This minus sign will change this negative to plus and this plus to minus. So I'm going to write here negative 49. This minus changes to plus 28x. This plus changes to negative, and then I write minus 4x squared is equals to 8. Now x squared minus 4x squared will give you minus 3x squared. Then we have 28x. Then negative 49, send the 8 to the left, it becomes minus 8 is equal to 0. So where I will be ended up minus 3x squared plus 28x negative 57 is equal to 0. Do you want to make the equation beautiful? I think at this stage, you guys are capable enough to deal with some critical algebraic aspects. So can I multiply the entire equation with minus 1? Because I hate to have x squared negative. Okay, so the entire equation is going to multiply with a negative sign. It gives you 3x squared. So the plus changes to negative, the negative changes to plus 28x. Now I am for sure you are thinking, Mr. Omar, do we need it? No, it doesn't need it. But mathematics needs beauty, elegance in your presentation. So look now, when I wrote here 3x squared negative 28x plus 57, it looks like a good presentable algebraic expression. So I like it because the leading term 3x squared is positive. Anyways, once you write your A is 3 guys, your B is negative 28, your C is 57. You guys apply the quadratic formula. So that gives you the value of x is equals to 3 and x is equals to 19 over 3. And corresponding to these values of x, you will try to find the values of y. So y, I'm going to plug it here, 7 minus 2. 7 minus 2 times 3. And for this one, 7 minus 2, 19 over 3. So I will get value of y 1. And here I'm going to get the value of y equals to negative 17 over 3. In the exam, I would prefer you should write your answer like this. Here is the x value, which is 3. Corresponding to that, you found it 1. For x value 19 over 3, you found what? Negative 17 over 3. So these are the two solutions and it carries 6 marks. Question number 5. We have y already in the subjective form. Can I plug this value of y over here? So now I get x squared plus bracket open close squared. In the place of y, I write x plus 3 is equals to 149. X squared plus x plus 3 and x plus 3 is equals to 149. Then x squared. Oh, I'm very happy because outside plus sign. So I don't care about this bracket. Because outside there is a plus sign, it won't affect their sign. So I'm not gonna write any bracket. I'll just multiply x times x is x squared, x times 3 is 3x, 3 times x is 3x, 3 times 3 is 9, and send the 149 to the left. Minus 149 equals to 0. So 2x squared, because this one has to be added, 3x plus 3x is gonna give you 6x, and minus 49 plus 9 will give you minus 140. Bravo. Now, again, I want to tell you, do you want to downsize the coefficients? Yes, Mr. Omar. 2 can be divided by 2, 6 can be divided by 2, 140 can be divided by 2. So why not we can make the equation much simpler in terms of its coefficients. So 2 turns into 1x squared, 6 turns into 3x, and 140 turns into 70. Wow. So we got a very simple quadratic equation. Your A is equals to 1, your B is equal to 3, and your C is equal to negative 70. Now you can apply the quadratic formula, which will give you x is equals to 7 and x is equals to negative 10. Corresponding to x, I will get y is equals to 10 and y is equals to negative 7. So your solution will be 7 comma 10. And if I'm using this pair, the second answer is negative 10 and negative 7. If you do this all, 6 marks are yours. In this question number 6, wow, x is having a coefficient 1. Can I make this one as a subject? Yes, so x is equals to 2 minus 4y goes to the right, it becomes plus 4y. Now I'm gonna plug this value of x here. Right here, bracket open, close, squared, negative 8y squared. It will stay as it is and equals to 68. Now in the place of x, I'm gonna copy now 2 plus 4y. 2 plus 4y. Since there is a square, so 2 plus 4y, this bracket, same bracket, will be multiplied twice. Now outside there is a plus sign. No need to write the bracket open and close. Ignore it. No need it. I'm just going to multiply 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 4y is 8y. Then 8y. Then 16y squared. Negative 8y squared is equals to 68. Now make the simplest equation This will give you 8y squared, and 8y is 16y. Can I send the 68 to the left? So plus 4 minus 68 is equal to 0. 8y squared plus 16y minus 64 is equal to 0. Mr. Omar, hold on. Since every term can be divided by 8, so why not the entire equation is divided by 8? So 8 goes and becomes 1y squared, 16 goes and becomes 2y, 64 goes and it becomes minus 8. So look, the equation becomes so simple. And the value of y, if you want to apply the quadratic formula or you want to use a calculator, it gives you y is equals to 2 and y is equals to negative 4. Now these two values one by one substitute here in this equation. So it will give you two values of x. If I use x is equal, y is equals to 2. So it gives you x is equals to 8. If you use the value of y negative 4, it gives you the value of x negative 14. Please check if there will be an error. So do let me know. So 8 comma 2. Don't write value of y first. Always x first, then y. And in the second pair, I'm going to write negative 14 and negative 4. Done? Now, alhamdulillah, guys, the quadratic equation and a linear equation, simultaneous equations, we have done. And 6 marks are well prepared. These are some sketches. Such type of graphs are called reciprocal graphs. Okay, these are called reciprocal graphs. And how the reciprocal graph looks like, they look like hyperbola. You know, you need to draw like this and like this. Be careful to the examiner. Your curve should get closer to the x-axis and y-axis. What if the student in the exam, he does it like this? Look at that. Here it is not getting closer to the x-axis and y-axis. It will be a wrong sketch. And don't tell me, Mr. Omar, I did it right. No, man. Sketching of reciprocal curve is the condition you need to keep in your mind. The graph gets closer to the x-axis and y-axis. That's the main thing. So this is reciprocal. Y is equal to 4 raised per x. This is exponential graph. It's an exponential growth graph because 4 raised per x. But if it was 4 raised per negative x, it will be a decay graph. So growth graph is like this. And where it cuts the x-axis, it cuts the x-axis at 4. Because if you substitute here, x is equal to 0, 4 raised per 0 gives you 1. So the graph cuts the y-axis at 1. In the Cambridge exam, if the sketch will come, it will carry 2 marks. How? Number one, the shape of the graph should be correct. Why the shape of the graph should be correct? A student has to show that the graph gets closer to the x-axis. Yani, we use a terminology which is called asymptote. X-axis is the asymptote of this exponential curve. And the name of this graph is exponential curve. And it's going up. Okay. But on the left-hand side, it should get closer to the x-axis. Next is a linear graph. And you all remember the constant is called y-intercept. So your y-intercept, suppose this is negative 3. This is your y-intercept. What is the gradient I have? You will say, Mr. Omar, the gradient is 1 because I'm going to write it in y is equals to mx plus c. Can you compare it? The m is basically 1, the coefficient of x. So 1 can be written as 1 over 1 because 1 is rise, run over rise, rise over run, sorry, rise over run. So from the y-intercept, you go 1 unit up and 1 unit right. So this is the second point. So can I draw? Wow. You need to know what is the y-intercept, and then you can check your gradient, how much you have to go up and how much you go right. So 1 over 1, yani 1 right and 1 up from 3. So you get the 2 points. One is the y-intercept and the second one where you reached at. You just draw the line passing through these 2 points. Again, oh, let me write the name of this. This one is a linear graph. Again, I gave you reciprocal graph. It's the graph like this. Khalas. Whether it is y is equal to 1 over x, 2 over x, 3 over x, in the same way you should draw. Yes, this is exponential, but exponential decay. Any growth graph is like this. Decay graph is like this. It goes towards the x-axis from left to the right. So if I have y is equals to, if I have y is equals to 4 raised power x, so this is your growth graph. But if it is y is equal to 4 raised power negative x, it's a decay graph. So in this particular situation, I have to draw the decay graph like this. Sorry. Be careful, x-axis is the asymptote. Don't try to touch the curve with the x-axis because the curve cannot touch the asymptote. Now, where is the y-intercept? It is obviously 1 because if you substitute x is equal to 0, 2 raised to power 0, which is 1. So value of y, any y-intercept will be 1. Next, the names of the graph. This is linear. This is quadratic, or someone call it as parabola. This is cubic. This is reciprocal. This is, again, what is this, guys? The variable goes into the power form, so this is exponential form. This is a linear form. This is a quadratic form, but the coefficient of x squared will be negative. If the coefficient of x squared is positive, parabola is upward. Otherwise, downward. This is a cubical graph, but opposite since the coefficient of x cubed is negative. But name is same, cubic graph. This is reciprocal graph. And this is also exponential. No need to call exponential growth or decay. It's obvious, but you have to mention exponential. Next, sketching. Now, I have a quadratic equation and I want to draw the sketch. This type of a question comes in the exam, so it carries 3 marks. So how, Mr. Omer, 3 marks will be given? Number 1, you need to find your y-intercept. In order to find your y-intercept, you have to put x is equals to 0. So if you put x is equal to 0, 7 will be gone and minus x squared will be gone. Only y is equal to 18 will be left. So it means, Mr. Omer, my parabola will be cutting the y-axis at 18. Wow. Whatever the parabola, it may be facing upward, it may be facing downward, but believe me, Mr. Omer, when it cuts the y-axis, it will cut at 18. How do you come to know that? Because I want to substitute x is equal to 0 on the y-axis, and this gives you y is equal to 18. So 18 is my y-intercept. Done. So 1 mark is in my pocket. Second mark, is the coefficient of x square positive? Well, negative. If the coefficient of x square is positive, it will be facing upward. And if the coefficient of x square is negative, it should be facing downward. So in this case, my parabola will be facing downward. Bravo. It will be facing downward. I want to know where it cuts the x-axis. So my friends, take out the calculators, because when you want to check that where it cuts the x-axis, you have to put y is equals to 0. The moment you put y is equal to 0, this will turn into a quadratic equation and you have a calculator allowed. So take out the calculator. What is the coefficient of x squared? It's -1. Enter. The coefficient of x is 7. Enter. The constant is 18. Enter. What's the first value? 9. So my first value is 9. And second value, may I get it? It's -2. It's -2. So here, this is -2 and this is 9. So I'm ready to draw the curve. By the way, guys, I want to tell you, this calculator has some extra features. What is that feature? I want to tell you. I always tell you buy this calculator, this very, very good calculator in terms of giving you more information, which the other calculators don't give. What is that? Can you just give a third stroke? The moment you give the third stroke, it gives you another value of x, and that is 3.5. Believe me, guys, that is the middle point of this. This is 3.5. And will you give a fourth stroke and press the equal sign, and this gives you the value of y, which is 30.25, and that is here. This is 30.25. Wallahi, guys, go here. This is the vertex. So your vertex is, it's not needed in this question, but I want to tell you with the use of this calculator, you can get the x coordinate is 3.5 and the y is 30.5. Now, alhamdulillah, I have lots of points. I'm ready to draw the sketch. So the graph is like this. So what are the things found by me? Correct x coordinates, x-intercepts by putting y is equal to 0 and get a quadratic equation. And you know how to solve the quadratic equation. And then after that, put x is equal to 0 into the equation to get your y-intercept, which was straightforwardly 18. So the graph cuts at 18. Now, how I got this value, which is the middle, if you don't have a calculator, you can just add -2, the left value, and 9, and divide it by 2. Wallahi, you will get 3.5. So 3.5, and then you substitute 3.5 into the original curve, you get 30.5 if calculator is not there. But with the help of calculator, you can do this. But for the final exam scheme is, if you get a quadratic sketch, our main aim is you need to know how to get the x-intercepts and the y-intercept, and the third thing, the shape. Now, if you look at this graph, the graph has been already drawn by him. How? The shape of the graph, because the coefficient of x squared is negative. So if the coefficient of x squared is negative, definitely the parabola is facing down. But I want to know where it cuts the y-axis. Can I see what is the constant here? 24. Wallahi, this is 24. But this is not the vertex. Now, can I put y is equals to 0? 0 is equal to 24 plus 5x negative x squared. And let me solve this quadratic equation. Enter -1, yani the coefficient of x squared. Enter 5, the coefficient of x. Enter 24, the constant. The first stroke give you x is equal to 8. The second stroke give you -3. The third stroke give you 5/2. The fourth stroke gives you 121/4, which is 30.25, and this is 2.5. So imagine your calculator gave you the complete information. So this is -3, this is 8, and that is 24. He's not asking you the vertex. So A, -3, B is 8, and C is 24. Oh, the most important point came. How to draw the cubical graphs. The cubical graphs, maybe they are like this or like this. If the coefficient of x cube is positive, it is like this. If in the cubical graph, the coefficient of x cube after expanding the brackets will be negative x cube, it will be like this. But how do I come to know this is cubical? Because the guy gave you linear and linear repeated. If I multiply them together, if I try to expand them, you know how to do the expansion? Although you don't need expansion, but I want to show you that it is telling you that this is a cubical graph. Yani x times x gives you x squared -3x plus x -3, and then x squared -2x -3, and now it is gonna be multiplied with x -3. So x squared multiplied with x gives you x cubed, then -3x squared, then -2x squared, right? Then minus plus 6x. In this way, you can open it. But at the moment, I'm not interested in the expansion. But I am for sure that when x multiply with this x, which is under the square, so I have here x and I have here x, which is under the square. When I multiply them, I'm going to get x power 3, which is positive. So if it is positive, the sketch will be like this. Clear? After that, I need to get my x-intercepts. How can I put my x-intercepts? Put x plus 1 is equals to 0. So it gives you x is equal to -1. So this is my first x-intercept. Second one is put x minus 2, 3 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 3. So the graph cuts the x-axis at -1 and at 3. But the interesting point is this. It has a square here. So square means square happens where? At 3. So square tells you the graph will be touching the x-axis, touching the x-axis. So let me draw the graph because normally we have 3 points. The graph looks like this. But if you get only 2 points, like the situation in front of you, since there is a square on the top of this 3, so the graph comes touch and cut over here. So touching situation happens at the square. However, x plus 1, and when I write it here, -1. The only point which is left here, how to write the y coordinate. Guys, you remember to find the y-intercept, we need to put x is equal to 0. So y is equals to 0 plus 1 and 0 minus 3 whole squared. Y is equals to 1 and -3 whole squared. So y is equals to 9. So this is 9. Now this will give you full 3 marks in the exam. Next, oh, Mr. Omar, now this is an expanded form and the coefficient of x cube is positive. It is obviously like this, but where the graph cuts the x-axis, where the graph cuts the y-axis. So this is the point. Okay, so now I need to work on at those points where the graph cuts the x-axis and y-axis. So in this question, we need to do the factorization first. So now we write it as x common, x squared -4. And you know that x squared minus 4 can be written as x squared minus 2 squared, which is equals to x plus 2 and x minus 2. I use the formula of difference of two squares. So x squared minus 2 squared can be written as x plus 2 and x minus 2. Now, students, you can see that the x-intercept is x is equals to 0. When I put this thing equal to 0, so it gives me x is equal to -2. When I put x minus 2 equal to 0, it gives me x is equals to 2. Now, when I draw this graph, it tells me my x-intercept is 0 and my x-intercept is also -2 and 2. Since the x cube is positive, the coefficient is positive, so graph comes from here and it goes like this. And the y-intercept is obviously 0, so no need to calculate it separately. Now, this question is important because this will decide that how the students are considering the multiplication of x's together. No need to multiply the three brackets together. You just need to look at that if this x, which is in this bracket, and in the second bracket you have a negative x, and in the third bracket you have just x. Could you please multiply them? Obviously, your answer will be minus x cubed. So Mr. Omar, I'm getting minus x cubed. And if the leading coefficient is negative, so the sketch should be like this. I know the sketch now, but let us try to get our, um, the x-intercept. So put x plus 1 equals to 0. So it gives you x is equal to -2. Put 3 minus x is equal to 0. It gives you 3 is equal to x. And put 3 plus x is equal to 0. It gives you x is equal to -3. So this gives you -3, 0, and 3. The graph will be coming from the left-hand side. There you go. Done. So if you substitute, I just wanna, oh, guys, hold on. One thing is missed out. The coefficient of x is -2. So this is, now I wanna draw the graph, how it looks like this. For sure, students may ask me, Mr. Omar, where the graph cuts the y-axis? Just substitute x is equal to 0 into the original equation. So 0 plus 1, 3 minus 0, and 3 plus 0. This is 1, this is 3, this is 3. So y is equals to 9. The y-intercept is 9. I am happy because x multiply with x multiply with x will give you finally x power 3. And since x cube is positive, the shape of the sketch will be like this. Now, may I get my x-intercept? So x minus 4 equals to 0 leads you x is equals to 4. X plus 1 equal to 0 gives you x is equal to -1. And x minus 2 is equal to 0 will give you x is equal to 2. So this is 4, this is 2, and this is -1. I'm ready to draw the sketch. Like this. Wow. Where the graph cuts the y-axis, I need to plug x is equals to 0. So y, -4, 1, -2, 8. So the graph cuts the y-axis at 8. Now, I want to write this equation. It's pretty simple, guys. If I want to write the equation, so this is, I think, 4. So y is equals to mx plus 4. What is the rise over run? So this is rise and this is run. 2 and 1. Okay. So y is equals to 2x plus 4. Do we have here y is equal to 2x plus 4? No, it's not there. Y is equal to 2x plus 4. Clear? This graph is facing downward, so x squared has to be negative. Do we have x squared negative anywhere? No, we don't have x squared negative here. Now this is cutting the x-axis at -2, so y is equals to -2. Do we have y is equal to -2? No, y is equal to -2 is not anywhere. Now let's check this one. This is -1, so y is equals to mx -1. How much he goes up? 2 up and 2 right. So this is 1, 2 over 2, which is 1. Y is equal to x minus 1. So y is equal to x minus 1. Wow. Why it is happening? No one is matching with it. Let's check. We will check it. So this is x is equals to -2. For sure, this is E. Y is equal to -2x plus 4. Y is equals to -2x plus 4. Let's check maybe this one. Because this is 4. 1 down. Sorry, 2 down. And 1 right. So y is equals to -2, 2 down, 1 right, x plus 4. Yes, this is option number G. Y is equals to x squared minus 4. Obviously this one. Okay, this is F. But y is equals to x minus 2. Which line has a y-intercept -2? Ah, now I got it. Because this was not -1, that was -2. Yes. So this is option D. Okay, because the gradient is This is negative 2, 2 right, 2 up, 2 right. So 2 over 2 will give you 1. So y is equals to x minus 2. In this way, we will recognize the sketches. Another important point, you will see that the sketches or the graph is already drawn. Examiner is interested, draw the tangent at x is equal to 2.5. So obviously this is 2.5. Can I go to the graph? So I want to draw the tangent at this point. Now, how in the exam you have to draw the tangent? The best way is, this is my point where I want to draw. The best way is this: get closer to the point and leave equal space on both sides. So this looks very reasonable tangent. So draw the tangent, guys. Now this tangent is definitely, and this point is x is 2.5. And what is the y coordinate? Can I check? My y coordinates will be 1.1. Can I check where it cuts the x-axis? It is cutting at, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think it's like 1.85. 1.85 commas here. What is the formula for the gradient? We have learned y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So this is my x1, y1, and this is x2, y2. So 1.1 minus 2.5 minus 0, sorry, minus 0. So y2 minus y1 over 2.5 minus 1.85. So that will give you guys the answer approximately 2.6. Now it's like within some marginal error sort of thing. It is not a fixed answer. Examiner will give you a range in the marking scheme, so don't worry about it. But try to learn the correct way, the way I did it. Okay. Now he has given you a curve and he said that solve f of x is equals to 14. So I have to draw, where is 14? This is 14. Just draw. This is y is equals to 14. The graph cuts the curve at which point? It cut the curve at this point. Try to locate it. It looks like 3.9, 3.8, just 2.75 is the solution. Now, as per the question, you have to draw the tangent at -2. So this is -2, go to the curve. So at this point, I am interested in to draw the tangent. So this point is -2. This is 4. Can I check where it cuts the x-axis? So it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So minus 2.6 comma 0. I can write y2 minus y1. 4 minus 0 over -2, negative 2.6. And then my answer will come 2 point negative, it's -2. Looks like -2. Okay. Check it out, like what is the answer coming with you, but it will be within the range. Next is draw the tangent at x is equals to 1. So where is x is equals to 1? This is 1. Go to the curve. So this is 1. Ready to draw the tangent. Here you go. So this point is 1. 2.9. And this is what? 1, 2, 3. So it's a 3 comma, sorry, 0.3 comma 0. So y2 minus y1, 2.9 minus 0 over 1 minus 0.3. And after simplification, I'm going to get 5. Okay. Let's go to the next. He said solve the equation f of x is equal to 5. Draw the horizontal line. F of x is equals to 5. It cuts the curve at 2 points. Approximately, it comes minus 2.7. And this is 1.7, minus 1.7 and 1.7. Tangent, we have to draw at x is equal to negative 1.5. This is negative 1.5. Draw the tangent here. Three point two. What's the x-intercept? The x-intercept is minus 0.90. So find the gradient. 3.2 minus 0 over negative 1.5, negative 0.9. And it gives us the gradient approximately minus 5.6. Next, calculus. I think in the class I have taught you so many times, so I will not go into basics. I want to find the derivative of y is equals to 3x cubed minus 8x. Now this power will go back and multiply with 3 when I take dy by dx. This is called derivative of y with respect to x, dy by dx, or derived function. And this process is called differentiation. So 3 multiplies with 3, 3 multiplies with 3. And from the power, you take off 1. Minus 8, the derivative of x is always 1. So 9x squared minus 8 is the final answer. The derivative of 8x cubed y dy by dx, 8 and 3 will be multiplied, and from the power we take off 1. The derivative of x is always 1, and the derivative of constant is always 0. This is 24x squared plus 1. 24x squared plus 1. Next, the derivative of x power 7 is 7x6, and the derivative of minus 3x6 is 3. 6 goes back, and from 6 I take off 1. So 7x6 minus 18x power 5. Clear? So now we see the next. He gave us this expression, y is equal to 5x squared minus 3x plus 7. So dy by dx, 10x negative 3. Derivative of 7 is 0, but he said x is equal to 1. So we substitute x1. So 10 minus 3, which is equals to 7. Now, can we expand the expression? So y is equals to x power 4 minus 4x cubed. So dy by dx at this time will come to you 4x cubed minus 3 multiplied 4 is 12x squared. Can we expand the bracket first before apply the differentiation? So 3x minus 2, 3x minus 2. So 9x squared minus 6x minus 6x plus 4. 9x squared minus 12x plus 4. At this point, we are ready to apply the derivative. This derivative is 18x, and this derivative is negative 12, and this derivative is 0. You said x is equal to 1 minus 1 substituted, y is equals to negative 1 power 4, negative 4, negative 1 power 3. So this will give us 1 plus 12, so the answer is 13. Is it 1 or 3? Let me check it again. No, it's a power of 3. It's power 3. So it leaves behind 1 plus 4. So it will give you 5. Stationary points. If in the exam he mentions stationary point, you have to put dy by dx equal to 0. Can I get dy by dx? It gives us 4x cubed minus 12x squared. Put it equals to 0. Now can I take x squared common? So 4x minus 12 is equal to 0. So either x squared 0 or 4x minus 12 equals to 0. So x is equals to 0, and this gives you x is equals to 3. So this is 0 and this is 3. Now we need to plug these values of x into the original. So y is equals to 0 power 4 minus 4, 0 cube will give you 0. And if you put y power 3 power 4 minus 4, 3 power 3, it gives us y is equal to negative 27. Next, I want to again find the two stationary points. Take the derivative dy by dx. 3x squared minus 1.2 times 2 is how much? 3x plus 1. Since I'm looking for stationary point, put dy by dx equal to 0. Take the x common. So 3x minus 3 equal to 0. So either x is equal to 0 or 3x minus 3 is equal to 0. So 3x 3 and x is equals to 1. So we got the two values of 0 and 1. Now we need to substitute these values one by one into the original. So y is equals to 0 power 3 minus 1.50 squared plus 1. It will give you 1. And if I substitute 1, it will give us the value of y equals to 0.5. Question number 5. Again, stationary points. So dy by dx. 12x squared minus 3. The derivative of 3 is 0. Put it equal to 0. So 12x squared is equals to 3. X squared is equal to 3 divided by 12, or 1 over 4. So x is equal to plus minus square root of 1 over 4. And x is equal to plus minus 1 over 2. So this is negative 1 over 2, and this is 1 over 2. Now can I plug these values one by one into the original equation? So first I substitute negative 1 over 2. It gives us the value of y 4. In the same way, we substitute half. This will give us y value 2. So for negative half, we are getting 4. And for half, we are getting 2. Sometimes in the exam, examiner asks you, okay, you know they are the stationary points. Stationary points are basically these points where the tangent is parallel to x-axis, and that's why we put dy by dx equals to 0. But how can we decide that this point is maximum or a minimum point without drawing a sketching? So without sketching, I have to find the nature. So this type of a question may come in the exam. For this, we have taught you that you need to take the second derivative. So first derivative was 12x squared minus 3. So the second derivative will be 24x. Now one by one, substitute the values of x here. So if x is equal to negative half, so 24 gives you negative 12. And since it is negative, I told you in the class that if it is negative, then it means this point is a maximum point. But if you substitute half into the second derivative, it gives you 12. It's a positive, it's a minimum point. So you have to mention that for negative half, so this point, negative half and 4 is a maximum point, and the second point, half and 2, will be the minimum point. How did I decide it? I found the second derivative first, and I plug one by one the x values into the second derivative. If the second derivative turns into negative answer, I will use the opposite meaning. It's a maximum point. And if the second derivative gives you a positive value, then the point which it is representing will be a minimum point. Let's do another question. We have this and we want to find the two turning points. So dy by dx. So 3x squared plus 16x plus 5, put it equal to 0. Now this is a quadratic equation, and I would suggest you can apply the quadratic formula. If you apply quadratic formula, your answers are y, x is equal to negative 1 over 3 and x is equals to negative 5. Can I get the corresponding values of y? By plugging these values into the original equation of the curve. So the value of y comes to you for negative 1 over 3, it is negative 22 over 27. And for this, the value of y will come to you 50. Okay, may I write these points here? Negative 1 over 3, corresponding y value is negative 22 over 27. If it is negative 5, corresponding y value is 50. I want to decide whether my point is maximum or minimum. You remember I was finding second derivative. So I am ready to take the second derivative of this expression, which will give us 6x plus 16. So 6x plus 15 plus 16, sorry. So now one by one, substitute the x coordinates. So if x is equal to negative 1 over 3, I'm going to plug it here. Boys, it is going to give you 14. So 14 is positive. If it is positive, then I call this point is a minimum point. And if x is equals to negative 5, I will substitute in the place of second derivative plus 16. So now when I substitute it here, so negative 30 plus 16, so negative 14, which is a negative value. So this is maximum point. Now we come to the transformation. In the transformation, we have here a column vector, which tells us how much we have to go right or left or up and down. This 2 tells me that I have to go 2 right, and this negative 3 tells you I have to go 3 down. Okay, so pick one point. Suppose I'm taking this point. I have to go 2 right, and then I have to go 3 units down. So 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. So this point came here. Can I copy the same figure? Because every point will move in the same way. So this is the translated figure. Very easily you do that. Next is, he gave you the column vector. It tells you that I have to go 3 right and 4 down. So I pick this one, 3 right and 4 down. So this point has moved here. With the help of this point, I can complete the figure. Down. So this is my new image. Now I want to do reflection, and x is equals to 3. You remember x is equal to 3 is this line. This is x is equals to 3. So in x is equals to 3, this point, which is on the right, it will go here. And this point will go here. Okay. This will stay here, and this will go to the opposite side. Now I want to draw the translation. So this is the translated figure about which line? X is equals to 3. Next. So we have to go to the opposite side of the line of reflection. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it makes it like this, this. Just draw the opposite shape. And this is the reflection. Now he gives you y is equals to 6 line, and y is equals to 6 line is basically this. Now we need to reflect 2, 4, 4. So this is a reflection. Next, translation -4. So 4 left and 6 up. 4 left, 4 left, 6 up. In the same way, I draw that. So the figure will go to the other side in this way. So this is the translated figure. And this is the reflected figure. Now, obviously, this is translation because the orientation of the shape and the size is not changed. Someone just dragged it to the left. How much? And I'm picking this point and this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So 5 left. I need to write it in a column vector form. 5 left and 8 up. Don't forget you have to mention translation. So 1 mark for translation and 1 mark for writing correct column vector. Then he said, can you reflect it about the y-axis? So 2 units here, 2 units here. So this one, and then you just complete it. And this one. So this is your reflection of figure P about y-axis. Now we came to the vectors. You remember, guys, how to find the magnitude of a vector? X component squared plus y component squared. So this will give you the answer 5. Don't write negative sign with it because it's a magnitude. So 4 squared plus 1 squared, so it's square root of 26. 5 squared plus 12 squared, it is 13. Square root of -3 whole square, so I'm going to write it under the square plus 0 squared. So my answer will be 3, not plus minus 3, just 3. So square root of yani E is -4 whole squared. Actually, guys, even though if my x component or y component is a negative, I will ignore the negative sign. Just write 4 squared plus 3 squared. That's the rule. So 16 plus 9, square root of 25, which is 5. And now next is -3, 6. I will not write -3. I'll just write 3 squared plus 6 squared. So it is 9 plus 36, and 36 plus 9 will give me 45. Now a plus b magnitude means I have to find a plus b vector first. What is the a plus b vector? It will give you 7 and 5. Then after that, I put bars around it, a plus b vector. And then I write 7 squared plus 5 squared. And that answer will come to me plus just square root of 74. C minus D vector, you have to find it first. And that will show you up 8 and 12. And then I will just put bars around it because I'm interested in the magnitude. So 8 squared plus 12 squared. The final answer in third form, it is 4 square root of 13. The calculator will give it to you. Next is which formula is representing the correct magnitude? Obviously this one. Magnitude, guys, -4 whole squared plus 5 squared. So this is 16 plus 25, and that will give you square root of 41. Or if you want to write it in one decimal place, or sorry, three significant figure, you can do that. Now 5 multiplies inside, I will get 10 and negative 15. When you simplify it, 4 will be added into 3, so it will give you 7, and negative 5, negative 1 is negative 6. Next, 6 has gone to 2, so it has gone 4 left, and 3 has gone to 8, it has gone 5 up, so negative 4, 5. Now, vectors geometry, vector A plus B, I want this vector A plus B, so I'll use the indirect approach. So AB vector will be, since it is the opposite direction, so negative A plus C plus 4A. Now can I add them up? So 3A plus C will be the answer. Whenever he uses the word position vector, it means that I want to join this with the origin. So OM vector is to be found. So OM vector, the closer direction is from O to A and A to M. Since M is the midpoint, so it will divide the line into two equal parts. So I'm going to write here OA plus half of AB. So OA is A and half of AB. AB I found in the previous part, 3A plus C. And I just expand it, A plus 3 over 2A plus half C. So 1 plus 3 over 2 or 2 over 2 I will write. So it's a 5 over 2A. You can use calculator. That will give you the answer. Now he said, can you mark the point D 3A? And you go here. This is approximately 3A and plus C. Go in the same direction. So this is your point D. Agreed? Then we move further. Question number 6. Question number 6, he said like GB. Where is G? This is G and this is B. So I go straight. This is 2A and I go opposite. This is negative G. So 2A, negative G. Center of the parallelogram BCDE. So this is the center. I'll go 2.5A and I'll go in this direction, which is 0.5 G. So 2.5A plus 0.5 G. Next. Yes, very important. Check that. Did he multiply this vector with another vector? Answer is yes. He multiplied with 2 to get this answer. Whenever one vector is multiplied with a number, scalar multiplication, two aspects, both vectors are parallel to each other. And second thing is zy length is double the length of xy. Question number 8. He said find AB. So this is AB. As per the question, FA is 2 of AC. If this is 1, FA is 2. Clear? And he said FE is M and C is M. And I want to find AB vector. So which direction I choose for AB? AC plus CB. AC is, can I write it in terms of FC? So it is 1/3 of FC. AC is what? It's 1/3 of FC. And CB is what? It's a half of M because B is the midpoint. He mentioned that. This is half of M. Now 1/3, what is FC, guys? FC is M minus N from the figure. M minus N plus half of M, expand the brackets, 1/3 of M minus 1/3 of N plus half of M. So when you guys simplify it, you will get 5 over 6m minus 1/3 of n. Next, he says that GH is 2p plus 6 and JK is this one. It looks like they are both somehow connected to each other, but it looks like that the GH, if it is divided by 3, yani 1 over 3 GH is equal to 3 over 18 of 2p plus p, which is as per the question JK. So JK is 1/3 of, so the length of JK is 1/3 of the length of GH, and another thing is GH is parallel to JK. Next, question number 9. He said find AB vector. So AB vector, it is equals to T plus U, but unfortunately we don't know what is BC vector given to us. Did he give us any relationship of AB? He says this is DC. DC is half. Oh wow. So this will be 2U. This is U. This should be, AB should be 2U because it is doubled. Next, BM. Now BM is half of BC. And can I find BC? I'll go from here to here, minus 2U plus T plus U. So half minus U plus T. And then I write here minus half U plus half T in the expanded form. I want to find AM now. AM. So AM can be written as AM can be written as AB plus BM, AB plus PM. And what is your AB equals to? It is 2U. And BM is the half of T minus U. Can I expand the brackets? 2U plus half of T minus half of U. Now 2U minus half of U will give you the answer 3 over 2 of U plus half of T. 3 over 2 U plus half of T. So guys, that's all. And we finished with all the 29 pages. I hope this explanation will be helpful for you to understand all the concepts which you need to cover for the preparation of final exams. Thank you guys, and inshallah see you on Sunday when you guys will come to me well prepared. Don't forget to bring the calculators, okay? Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.